Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a quick video. Today is Thursday, right? Thursday? And I am on location in sunny Clermont, Florida. I brought my dad down to visit with my sister and bring Christmas gifts, take Christmas gifts back home. My father has not been on vacation this year at all. He's been bumbling around in the same space. So we were fortunate enough to rent a house. Did I put too much lip balm on? I did. What that is, that's lip balm, y'all. It's lip balm now. I ain't foaming at the mouth. And so last night before I went to bed, I saw something about Pastor Jamal Bryant responding to Monique Samuels, who did this sort of, it was really more of an expose or exposing Gizelle Bryant, who has been running around all this season on Real Housewives of Potomac, claiming to be in this relationship with Jamal Bryant, and everyone, including myself and a lot of you guys and just about all the bloggers knew that it was just for a storyline. Like, Jamal be out here, right? Like, he has not been visible at all outside of her cell phone, FaceTime, and that type of thing ever since the show aired, this season aired. So it's like, how you got a man? How is this your man, right? But I kind of went to sleep on the video. So when I got up this morning, I watched it again because I had been driving all day yesterday to get down here. And I'm sorry if you guys hear a lot of wind. It's because even though the sun is out now, it's kind of chilly here and in Florida, and there's a lot of wind. So I'm in the alcove space, which is why you might also hear an echo, but I'm sure you can hear this wind blowing through. So hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. But anyway, so after I heard the video, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I could not believe Pastor Jamal Bryant. Like, the nerve. And it was so poorly done that I knew what was driving this video, what was driving this response was ego. It wasn't based upon any type of fact. I knew that after I watched, I was like, it's no way he could have talked to somebody on his legal team. Does he have a legal team? I mean, even if you had to talk to the wisest elder in the congregation that you lead, they would have told you, don't say that, don't say this, and don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it, right? So these are the obvious points. And then I started thinking, I was like, oh, what was it, like 2 or 3 Christmases ago? My family once again had loaded up and came down to Florida. My sister had just bought her home here, and so we were spending Thanksgiving with my sister down in Florida. And at that time, I had just learned that Jamal Bryant had been installed as the new pastor of New Birth. Y'all know I could take a stone and throw it real hard. If I wind my arm up real good, throw it real hard and hit New Birth. That's how close New Birth is to me. So I was familiar with New Birth prior to Jamal, when Eddie Long was the pastor and everything that went along with that. I also did a video at the time of Eddie Long's passing. Well, it was a great while before they found someone they thought was suitable to lead the congregation. Up until that point, they had just had a bunch of people come in. But if they had did what I said to do in the beginning and put his son, Edward Long Jr., up on that pulpit it would be a different story. But I digress. Anyway, I did a video when they installed Pastor Jamal Bryant, and I said he wasn't right for New Birth. Honestly, he not right for Atlanta. He not right for Georgia. And I talked about how these women down here are a little bit different. You know, things move a little bit different down here. A lot of people feel like when you come to the South, people not as smart, they not as savvy. But, you know, anyway, so I just didn't feel like he was a good fit for Georgia. I didn't feel like he was a good fit for Atlanta, and I didn't feel like he was a good fit for New Birth. Because one of the things, despite what you hear about Eddie Long, New Birth as a church, as a body, has always been community oriented, has always been community driven. Prior to having this space that they're on, which is a pretty expansive piece of land, they had a smaller church on Snapfinger Road. They were huge there. That's why they had to come out of there, because they had like 3 or 4 services. Like, you couldn't even get on that street when New Birth was having church. Like, they have always been a community-driven church. They have always done things in the community. They have always had a lot of outreach. They've always been on the cusp politically in terms of backing those things that benefit the African American community. Excuse me, you guys. And so that as a body, no leader at all, without any leader at all, as a body, New Birth has always been very, very active in that respect, right? And honestly, I won't even just say active, but they've always excelled at it, right? Okay, and that's why I said his son, his namesake Edward Long, would have been a better fit for that church, because if y'all see Edward Long, y'all don't follow him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. Edward Long, the son, now this is just what I see on Instagram, and I've been watching him for some years. I didn't really know him prior to his father's passing, but after his father had passed, I started really following him, and he's a good dude. He seems like a real good dude. Just from what I see, he seems like a real good dude, and smart and active. He's young, he's forward thinking, he's progressive, he's approachable, he's lighthearted, he's energetic, he's smart and funny. He's all of these things, but he did not have the name and notoriety that Jamal had. And so their board, I think, wanted to install someone who was going to bring in that young money, bring in that celebrity money, bring in, you know, those celebrity parishioners, those basketball players and football players. Now, you know, we've seen Kanye West there in New Birth. We've seen T.I. and Big Boy, a couple of other people there at church. I think Big Boy did go, right? I think so. And, you know, Jamal Bryant brought that type of energy. Plus, as an orator, he is kind of alongside Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie Long, kind of alongside. I would say that Bishop Eddie Long could probably eat Jamal's lunch when it comes to oration. And being a powerful speaker, he could definitely eat Jamal Bryant's lunch. But Jamal Bryant is a good orator. He is a good orator, you know. And that's what captivates people. But he also brought this pizzazz, you know, these stylings, linguistically, and he brought the way he dressed, in aesthetics in that way. He brought that energy. You know, he sort of brought this on-trend energy that people love. People love a pastor that entertains them as well, you know. And he's always been able to entertain. He's always been able to take the worldly commentary and incorporate it in a sermon, you know, that type of thing. Folks love that. They love, yeah, get behind it, right? Doesn't have to have a truth. It doesn't have to have validity. It doesn't necessarily have to be of God either, right? Okay, so let's move on. So yeah, and it's funny that here at the same time of year, some 2 to 3 years later, after I made this video saying he wasn't a good fit, it wasn't going to work out, and we were going to hear that Jamal Bryant is not working out at New Birth. We were going to hear that. I didn't know when, and I never came back on it at all. Y'all know, I feel like once I put out what I believe to be is the truth, I don't have to go back and redo it and rework on it and say see and footnote here and all of that, because since that time we have seen this slow progression of information come out about this dude and the way and his character. I'm just saying his character, right? So here we are now, and he is supposedly now getting back in a relationship with his former wife, his only wife. Gizelle, as far as I know, is the only woman he was ever married to. Okay. He actually married. Okay. She's on Real Housewives of Potomac. Well, like I said, it was her storyline this year that she was getting back with Jamal, even though they've been divorced 12 years, and they ended up getting divorced after, I don't know, 20-something years of marriage or something like that, 12 years of marriage, something around in there. It wasn't 20 years of marriage because their oldest baby is 16 now. So they must have been together around 12 years, married maybe around 10, 12 years. So divorced, now they supposed to be getting back together, right? This is her storyline. And so everybody was like, what? Because there's always this simmer, this underlying conversation about a new baby coming out or a new woman coming out. And the thing about it is Jamal has been very, very successful up until this point, although things have been said and things have been whispered, and some people have been able to get some court documents or some information and that type of thing from women who have been in his I won't say concubine, because I don't really want to insult the women. I think a lot of them really feel like they in a for real relationship. So I don't really want to insult the girls, but the ladies, but a couple of 2-3 of them have broken from the trend and spoken out. But these are older relationships, I believe. But there's always been this slow, steady progression of vloggers that would say things. Women would pop up. Nobody wants to give their name. Nobody wants to say who they are. Nobody really wants to talk about it. They want to drop the information out, but they don't really want to talk about it. And also, he is known for, slapping a cease and desist on vloggers and that type of thing. So the information that was coming out couldn't really take hold per se. It was just rumor. You know how we do in the black community. It's rumor. Girl, they say he got another baby. Girl, they child, they say. And inevitably, I don't care what crowd you go into. If you talk to a woman, if you're talking to a group of people and you mention Jamal Bryant's name, I bet you they know somebody. They mess with him, or they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who messed with him. I mean, his pen's got a reputation, right? Which is why I said he wasn't right for Atlanta. Okay? I'm just telling you, he wasn't right for New Birth. They had already gone through so much. Why would you bring somebody on who is so controversial and just of such low moral character? And I just say that because help me dispute it. Help me dispute that he is not of low moral character. Listen, if it's against the Bible for you to masturbate, it's got to be against the Bible for you to be running around here leaving your seed. If it say don't spill your seed down the drain, that type of thing, then you can't be out here leaving your semen in any and every uterus that you come across, and the people got to hunt you down to take care of your babies, or even to acknowledge your babies. But we're gonna get to it. Poor moral character is what I'm telling you. Okay, so like I said, conversations continue to simmer and develop regarding his behavior, whoremongering, baby making, and that type of thing. But he would have it squashed, or the ladies would get fearful and they would just decide they didn't want to talk about it. So Gizelle's tagline on Real Housewives of Potomac is, word on the curb is, I am the word on the curb. Y'all know Beautiful Soul, and y'all check out her video she did on these new developments, as well as her live, both very, very good, as well as Layla Lynn dropped the original video of Pastor Jamal Bryant's response. I want to make sure I give her her props for dropping that video, and where I saw it at. And DJ Richie Sky also is a vlogger here on YouTube. I want to give him his props for his commentary that he did on it as well. Let me see, who else am I forgetting? All About the Tea. Also, she did a live this morning, and that was very eye-opening because she had a couple of people that knew him back in Baltimore. Y'all know I'm a Georgia girl. I don't know nothing about Baltimore. Okay, so that was very eye-opening as well. And I had to go to the store. I had to make breakfast for my family and put lunch and dinner on. And so I'm just now getting a chance to do this video. And I wasn't gonna do it, but there were a lot of naysayers in the video that I did when he was first installed. And a lot of people got real ugly with me, so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and make this video. Plus, I know my honeybees don't do a lot of gossip or celebrity commentary, so this was an opportunity for me to come in and not only give you guys my take, which I know y'all want, but also to kind of just bring you up to speed as to what's going on, because a lot of y'all don't tiptoe in the streets like that, right? So let me just tell y'all, what's happening. That's my thought process. And I wasn't going to do it, but for that reason, I did do it. I'm so sick of him. I really am. So word on the curb is that, that Gizelle got with Jamal when he was with another woman. So when they first met, it wasn't like he wasn't married, but he had a woman, and that woman had a child. And then Gizelle got with him, and they say, I don't know, they say that she ended up getting pregnant with their first child, Grace, Jamal and Gizelle's first child, Grace, while he was with this woman. And if I'm not mistaken, his oldest baby, Jamal, she ain't a baby, she 22 years old, is by the woman that Gizelle took him from, so to speak. Cheated on her with something, cheated with Jamal on. You see what I'm saying? You see how convoluted the devil's business is? Okay, so anyway, that's what they say. I ain't did no numbers. I ain't ran no numbers and stuff on birthdays and that type of stuff. But this is what they say. They also say that, like I said, that she had this breakdown prior to marrying him, because prior to marrying him, he had cheated on her several times and had a child out of it. Now, I don't know if this is an additional child, because now we up to 2 children. I don't know if this is an additional child, right? And she had this breakdown, and evidently, cheating and dragging her and all of this stuff up and down, her nerves and stuff. She had a breakdown. That's what they say now. This before she even married the man. So come up to marrying the man. Apparently she was pregnant when they got married, but you know what I'm saying, like newly pregnant, like, oh, I missed my period pregnant, but not like I'm pregnant, right? So you know, there consequently since then there was more cheating and more children, and finally they divorced. Some 12 years later, here we are, Real Housewives of Potomac. Gizelle is a Real Housewives of Potomac alum, and she reintroduces Jamal to us as her love interest. And consequently, because of that, the chickens have essentially come home to roost. What started out to be this quick money grab, because it was an opportunity for Gizelle to stay on the show and to get another season's paycheck. And I don't know what he was expecting to get out of it, except, you know, maybe to help her out. I don't know. I'm not really sure why, when you know you out here in these streets wrong, why would you want to put a spotlight on it? But he did. And it just, a lot came out. A lot came out about the fact that he doesn't really see her. He doesn't really visit with her. They're not really together. The girls don't really, his girls with her, that he had with her, don't really care for him too tough. The daddy's on a hot mic. Gizelle's dad is on a hot mic talking about the 6 or 7 kids that he has, and that he's a joke, and he doesn't understand why his daughter will want to get back with him. Like, all of this has happened over the Real Housewives of Potomac season. Now, fast forward to the reunion part 1, in an attempt to, which she did very successfully. If y'all watch my Real Housewives of Potomac season 5, part 1 of the reunion, y'all know I had fun. I had so much fun with the Binder of Truth. Monique Samuels and the Binder of Truth, darling. Check that out. So Monique is shutting Gizelle down from lying. She has been on the show for all 5 seasons. Gizelle has, and she has just proven herself to be a really nasty woman, not kind at all. Which it's funny for me, because I have a hard time empathizing with the fact that she had a breakdown, because typically people come through those types of strife. Typically, not all the time, and they are kinder, they are more empathetic. But she just, for some reason, she has opted to go the other way. She's vicious, and she is manipulative, and she's a flat out liar. She's just a flat out liar. Like someone will say, here's the truth, and she will take it and repeat it and chop it up, chop in lies all throughout, whatever that is. Like, she is a nasty woman. And this thing that she sort of was a part of, with Monique Samuels trying to tear her family apart, and in fact trying to tear Monique Samuels' character apart and her husband's character apart, right? That is what caused Monique Samuels to speak out with the Binder of Truth and let us know about all these text messages he had with this woman that he had been seeing while he was supposed to be back with Gizelle. And information about just how he's moving out here. Pictures and screenshots and telephone numbers. It was a whole thing. And it set really social media afire. First of all, Monique carried herself with such poise and razor sharpness. That alone will piss the devil off, okay? Let me tell you something. All right. So, but I think it was so much. She tagged him Pastor Holy Whore. And tagging him Pastor Holy Whore just put this different spin on it, where now this is how people are referring to him. And he's the pastor of New Birth. New Birth is what we used to call a mega church. A mega church, which means each service, they've got thousands of people per service. At its heyday, New Birth, I think, had 4 services on Sunday. That's a lot of services. And you got a packed house in every service. I talked about this in my first video, when I talked about Pastor Jamal coming on board. They built an exit ramp from the freeway just to go to New Birth, because that's how packed it used to be, just trying to get down Evans Mill Road and all, get off 20 and everything to get to church on time. It used to be, I mean, it's like a little city. Like, anywho, so you know, this is another reason why I say that he wasn't a good fit. But so now the pastor of this mega city is being referred to all over the internet as Pastor Holy Whore. And I think it was a part of him, a part of the same thing that fuels him to continually go out and get with women and manipulate women and just string them along and give them this impression that it, you know, the more they do and for and with him, the more opportunity they may have to do and be and become. Y'all get what I'm saying? You know, this pastor of this mega church is being referred to as Pastor Holy Whore. And that ego, that same ego that leads women in, that draws in the women in, that makes you come across kind of cocky and self-assured and confident and well abreast. You know, it's the same ego that the parishioners feed every Sunday when they're filing in and they're amening him on and amening him on. It's the same ego that is fed from being in that pulpit, for being called all around the world to preach. The same ego that gets fluffed up when people defend him or no one says anything or he is not held accountable to any way. Now, I ain't talking about this little petty sit down stuff they doing now. They'll sit you down for a couple of 2-3 months until people forget about it, and then before you know it, you right back up there and you right back out there, right? So that ego is what made him make that video yesterday. That's what made him make that video, that ego. Okay, and that video was trash. It was a mess. Real Housewives of Potomac put him on a national scale, but put his business out there on a national scale because he was always pretty popular. But put this business out there on a national scale. But the reunion really exposed him. Like I said, now people are calling him Pastor Holy Whore. And he makes this video, and it is just, the video was just, it was horrible. First of all, he had a notebook. He was supposed to be a play on her binder, because y'all know Monique had a detailed binder. It was supposed to be a play on her binder. So supposedly he's got this binder, and it's got his own version of the truth in it. It's upside down. We've seen this a couple of times this year, including with 45. Just upside down. Like, how are you supposed to be? Anyway, he's obviously got 2 people in the room. And while he's filming, it looks like he's looking at a teleprompter, but he keeps looking at someone over here. You know, I don't know if he was looking at a prompter, but the person that was filming him, when he made what he thought was a joke, the person was like, I was like, that, okay. And the other thing I noticed is that he just kept, like he was going to get up. He was sitting on a stool, I believe, and he kept like leaning up, like he was adjusting himself. And if y'all, for those of you who were fortunate enough to see my Kaya Pants on Fire video I did after Maddie and Kaya broke up, and I was showing you guys some of the behaviors of habitual liars, is these movements and these gestures, right? I had to privatize the video, but it's been some years. I might re-release that video and see what she do. I digress. And so I was just making a note of how many times he just kept, you know, this is a distraction. The truth is supposed to come out and just be very clear and very concise, right? But no, you've got all of these gestures. You got an upside down book. You got somebody in the background, You keep looking at someone over here. You know what I mean? Like, everything going on but the truth. Everything popping off in this video but the truth. Okay? So let's talk about it and then we're going to be out. So I really feel like this video is his undoing. This video that he did in an effort to, that I feel like he did out of ego, okay, out of a measure of haughtiness, okay, and it was an attempt, in my opinion, for him to say, oh, you mess with the wrong one. You messed with the wrong one. I was trying to see what my other word outside of hardy was, but I can't find it. Anyway, he definitely came from Monique in a certain type of way, which was fine. She brought his name up. He can bring her name up. But the stuff you said about her husband, you... One, can't prove it because the man is still alive. You can't prove that a person has CTE, has been concussed to the point of having CTE until the person has passed away. We know this, okay? Will Smith made a whole movie about it, right? And then you blatantly lied about, and listen, I don't know if it was your lie or if it was a lie that was told to you and you regurgitated it, but you are the pastor over thousands of people. You are the shepherd of thousands of people, and to allow someone to bring you a lie about something you really shouldn't be talking about anyway. Should have ate that pastor holy whore and just left it silent. And it would have stayed the same rumor that amongst black people that we always have when somebody brings up Jamal Bryant's name. But no. My mama always said the devil will make an open show of you. The devil will make an open show of you. And that ego is how he does it. That pride, that sense of haughtiness. You're smarter than, and you're quicker than, and it's smug. It's so smug, the way he comes across. And he, he didn't get nobody told. It's not the same as, studying what you're going to say for Sunday and then regurgitating it. It's not the same. It's not, sir. You were out of your depth here. So, I just wanted to mention that, just all of the little things that was going on that let me know you're lying. You're not being 100% truthful here, sir. You're not. All right? Like I said, this video was his undoing. Those ridiculous little insults. You may have the receipts, but I'm the cash register. Listen. Okay? First of all, a cash register is no good without the receipts. All right? A cash register generates the receipts. Maybe that's what you're saying, right? I don't know. But you didn't generate any receipts. What good is the cash register outside of just holding the cash, but you won't get no receipts? Doesn't make any sense because you didn't give us any receipts. It was so dumb. And the guy in the background told on him and said, like he had really said something. No, he just correlated two things. It really had no, whatever. And he didn't spit out any receipts. And then this whole thing is, I live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. A lot of people feel like it was a threat. I don't think it was a threat. I think it was posturing. And the reason why I don't think it's a threat is because Jamal Bryant know better. He got to know better than the threat. Chris Samuels, Monique's husband, he used to pay for the Ravens, the Redskins, one of them. He's a big dude anyway. Now, he's kind-hearted and he's gentle. and he seems like a very grounded individual, right? But Jamal is a philanderer. He's not a fighter. He's not. And so it just was fluff. It was like a little dog barking. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You beat down women's self-esteem. You ain't jumping on no man. What you do is something completely different, sir. How you undermine and beat down is more slick, more slimy. It's not physical. It's not. It fell short for me because I find you to be the complete opposite of a threat. Complete opposite of a threat. Not unless I had a college daughter, age daughter, then I would keep my good eye on you. That's just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. And then like I said, he said he's so busy trying to be smug and haughty, and acting like he was just reading, you know. But he gave us no answers, just insults. I was like, you know, if I am a board member of New Birth, I'm asking you tough questions, and I expect I expect the truth. I expect clear, decisive answers. You know, do you have multiple children outside of wedlock? Do you? Are you juggling multiple women? Are you? Huh? Are you out here, whether the women are in our church or not, your charge to lead the people is all people. Are you using your positioning as a pastor to gain attention and physical intimacy from women? Women, whether they are in the church or not, because that was his thing. I've never dated anyone in my church. I don't have any children from anyone in my church. All of this stuff, semantics, right? The Lord did not say, okay, here, this is your license just to be over the people at New Birth. No, if you're called, you're called. Right? If you do it, whether you're doing it here, there, or yonder, it's still wrong. So I'm gonna ask you, do you have multiple children outside of wedlock? Are you juggling multiple women while you're supposed to be an upstanding, outstanding, without reproach leader here in this church? Do you not only acknowledge these children, but do you support these children both financially and physically? Meaning, are you rearing these children? Are you pruning these children so that they may grow up to be what the Bible has called them to be, what the Lord has called them to be? These are the tough questions I would have to ask. I'm sure if you are a decent leader in terms of a board member at New Birth, these are some of the tough questions that you would ask, and I hope that you would expect an answer. Okay, so lastly, I just want to say this woman that he was talking about, Monique, that Monique had the receipts from, text messages and all of those things. It's from what I understand, they had been dating for some years. Okay, and the way he drug her as if he did not know her, the way he attacked her credibility as if he did not date her for this long period of time. She admitted, I saw the lady on a show doing an interview. She admitted that they had intimate relations. And you acted like you had never been inside that lady. Never been inside of that woman. Acted like you didn't know her, discarded her. And you had messed with this woman for years. Okay? But Gizelle, a woman that you supposedly dated, the mother of your children. You never, ever defended her character in any of this. And this is how it all started. Gizelle is the reason why all of this got really blowed up, because of how she was moving, attacking Monique and her family and Monique's character, and Monique was forced to defend herself through receipts. Gizelle is the reason why you came onto the show. Your name came onto the show. Everybody was asking about you. Where was you? Why wasn't you here? Why wasn't you there? Are y'all together? Gizelle sat there when they was in Portugal and admitted that 2 weeks before a couple of days before they left for Portugal, she had given fellatio to somebody. I mean, if it wasn't you, that means she was cheating on you, right, Jamal? Okay, you never defended Gizelle. You never defended Gizelle's character. You never lifted her up positively. You tore this woman down. You tore her down, but you didn't tell her down to lift Gizelle up. You told her down to lift yourself up, to lift your own character up. You've not said one kind, encouraging, spectacular word about Gizelle. You still have not. In this whole 26-minute rant, you still have not said a word. As far as I'm concerned, you aren't really lifting your kids up, your girls up, the ones that you have with Gizelle. Forget about the other ones, because you have. You call them young girls full of angst, and they're upset because you didn't take them the first day of school. Them girls ain't 2 and 3. They not 2 and 3. No, every time they're home, they wear their new birth gear more than they wear their regular clothes. I was like, what is you talking about? What is you talking about? My girls have become strong young women. My girls are like, you really didn't have anything uplifting and encouraging to say about your own girls. And that oldest girl is beautiful. That oldest girl he got from another woman, she's beautiful. Okay, and if she's not already graduated from college, she was in a college, and it wasn't an easy college. Georgia State ain't no easy school. It ain't no easy school. You best cool believe that. All right. And then you drag the girl daddy. You drag Gizelle daddy, and made it seem like the man was old and senile and not capable of being believed, because he was just so confused. And you said out of your own mouth you never really spoke to him about the hurt that you caused his daughter. But how have you reconciled with both man and God, and you have not gone to man? We're supposed to just accept what you're saying. God has forgiven me, and we're gonna all move on, right? But whatever. I just thought it was very telling that you spent more time dragging this woman and her credibility than you did uplifting Gizelle and her kids. And listen, you never said y'all was together. You never said that you've always loved her, you will forever love her, she's the love of your life. You've never said a word about that. You never said she was hurt and I'm hurt because she's hurt. You never did. You spent more time accusing Chris Samuels of something that you cannot even prove, which is an illegal issue. Okay, and lying about him being physically aggressive with not one but 3 different women, which you absolutely cannot prove. And it has since come out that the woman that you say that Chris Samuels attacked at the Safeway was Sharice. And that never happened. That is a blatant lie. Whether somebody told it to you and you repeated it, or it's your lie, it's still a lie. It's still a lie. The man's a liar. You said you had video of it, but you won't show it there. Where is the video? You are a liar, sir. You are a liar. Okay? And word on the curb is, this the last thing, you guys. They say that new birth, I don't know. Because, like I said, I'm down here in Florida trying to luxuriate in this mildly cold temperature and dodge COVID. But they say New Birth has asked him to step down. I think they don't really have a choice. He finished that video off by saying, I've got to go because I've got 8,000 people that I'm trying to feed for the holidays, and I've got thousands of families that I am trying to help during this holiday season, and I've got yada, 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 and I've got yada, yada, yada. That's not you, Jamal. That's your church. That's the history of your church, has always done that. And 9 times out of 10, most of the people, a good deal of the people that are the brainchild and the muscle behind what New Birth does, most of those people, I would say a good 75% of them are women, because that's the demographic of Atlanta. Even if they're married women, the ratio to men to women is much larger. The ratio to professional, successful women in Atlanta is a greater proportion than men. Okay, New Birth has always had a lot of very, very successful. I'm talking about scholarly women from all walks, men too, but from all walks, all professions. Which is why I don't understand why he didn't consult a legal person. Have them write a statement for you and then it's read. This is how it's typically done. But like I said, that ego. The devil will make an open show of you. My mama used to say, you may get by, but you won't get away. Huh? You may get by, but you won't get away. Huh? It always catches up. It always catches up to you, which is why vengeance is not ours, but it is the Lord's. So that's the word on the curb, is that they ask him to step down. And hopefully they're trying to salvage, that the true meat and potatoes of what New Birth is. They've always been on the cusp in terms of fantastic oration and preachers. They pumped out really good preachers who've gone out to build their own congregations and churches and things like that. But more importantly, they're standing in the community. Right now, having someone who is more like Trump than they are like Biden is bad for business. And that's just what it is. I mean, we trying to flip Georgia blue, right? But for you to sit there and make it seem like you're the brainchild behind all of these community-related things that New Birth is doing, I believe the truth and the irony of it is that there are some fantastic women behind you who are putting these programs and these initiatives in place and then executing them. And you're being the face of it, and you're taking the credit for it. I believe that's what's going on. But y'all know what I say. That's just my opinion. What do I know? Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. I really feel like Jamal's ego and whatever he was in bed with Gizelle with, as far as this show, whatever deal they worked out regarding this show, is why he was undone. He was exposed. You got greedy. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah, holla.